is HPE bringing advanced supercomputing technology to the masses? We'll talk with an HPE leader next. Welcome to SC21 TV. I'm your host, Charla Bokikio. We are live at the SC21 TV news desk, meeting leaders in the world of high-performance computing. With me now is Bill Mannel with Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. Welcome, Bill.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. We're glad you're here. Let's start off with just a more formal introduction. Let everyone know what your title is, what you're doing, and we will go from there.
Sure. I'm the Vice President and General Manager for High Performance Computing at Hewlett-Packard Enterprise. So running the worldwide business for HPE in HPC from that standpoint.
It's a pretty big job.
Yeah, it's very exciting from that standpoint.
Great. Well, we can't wait to hear about what you're working on. So let's start by defining the Exascale era.
Okay. We're lucky enough to have been awarded the 3 Exascale systems that are being developed, and we're working on them right now in the United States. And so what we're doing here is not only developing those systems, but actually helping those customers deal with the amount of data that they have and the amount of compute they need in order to accomplish their mission and how they see that mission going forward.
Right.
And so that's an exciting thing for that, because as you know, data itself continues to grow. We've got all these IoT devices, whether they're our cell phones. There's more and more, with the power of some of the computing today, it's generating more and more data in terms of simulation and these sorts of things as well.
Yeah.
So all of that is putting demand on creating these large systems to be able to advance the science, to advance the technology as we go forward.
Right. So you sort of already addressed this, but why are the Exascale era technologies needed by more organizations, more than just the large supercomputing installations?
Well, it's because everyone's trying to manage this large influx of data. So whether you're a car manufacturer and now you've got connected cars and all the cars are downloading data on a regular basis, so you want to be able to utilize that data, which will tell you how the cars are operating, warranty information, these sorts of things.
Right.
If you're a bank, you want to understand what's going on in terms of your customers, because for the most part, you're probably interacting with them more on their cell phones than you ever have before.
Right.
So all these other customers have similar needs to these very large Exascale customers.
Yeah.
They've got lots of data coming in, and they want to get value out of it, which means they want to compute on it.
Right. So then how does it work? You build the high-end technology for the labs, and then what?
Well, so we build the high-end technology for the labs, and then in a smaller way, bring that down to other customers. And sometimes that's taking a subset of a large system. Sometimes it's taking certain ingredients out of that system and putting it into another format so they can take advantage of it from that standpoint. So
Gotcha.
Either just in terms of size, in terms of power usage, these sorts of things as well.
Okay. So, yeah, so I guess you've got these traditional supercomputer buyers.
Yep.
And then, of course, you've mentioned making the Exascale era technology available for just the masses.
That's
basically.
correct. That's correct.
So what about the data center, more traditional commercial organizations? What about them?
Well, so similarly, so we're going to take some of those technologies, such as Slingshot, which is our fabric, such as our software, our Cray development environment, as an example. They'll be available for all the customers. So whether you're a more traditional type of high-performance computing customer, but not necessarily a supercomputing customer, you'll be able to use those two to analyze your data, to get value out of it, and to take advantage of those technologies as well.
Excellent. Sounds like wonderful things on the horizon.
Yeah, you bet. And actually today we already have some of those technologies available, even though we haven't fully implemented some of our Exascale systems. So over the last year, we've got systems out in weather prediction, in scientific analysis, and also doing engineering work today even before some of the Exascale systems are coming out from that standpoint.
Boy, a lot continues to change in this world, right?
It really does, yeah, exactly.
How long have you been in the field?
Probably about 30 years from that standpoint.
So you've seen a lot.
Yeah, exactly. There's been a lot of change as it went. And, you know, back a while ago, 30 years ago, it was very much a few customers very big enjoying it. And then over time, you've seen, you know, all the customers using it to some extent, starting a lot on the engineering sides over there, planes and cars and these sorts of things, but also moving into health and life sciences and financial services and these things as well.
Right, and now it seems like everyone needs that technology.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Down to your mother.
Yeah, that's right, that's right.
So I know you've been coming to these SE conferences for quite a while, yeah?
Yes, yeah.
What was your first conference you attended?
The year 2000.
Okay.
It was in Dallas, so I remember that one.
And we'll be in Dallas next year.
It will be in Dallas next year, that's correct.
So you've lived through the hybrid version, the hybrid version this year, and the completely virtual last year. Did you participate?
Correct. Yep.
Yeah. What were the challenges that you saw being on the exhibit floor both of those years, the virtual exhibit floor and now the hybrid? Were there some challenges or takeaways? What was different?
Well, certainly, you know, the virtual format was, you know, more difficult format. It was hard to interact with customers, and even from their standpoint, you know, being on, you know, a virtual call all day long is difficult to hold their attention.
Right.
I think this year is a nice segue, hopefully, to a more usual experience a year from now, which is having, you know, some amount of face-to-face with some, you know, obviously safety measures in place. But also we've had meetings where some of the customers are virtual and call in, and some are local. Or we also had meetings where we were all here and they were virtual. And so I think it's been a good, hopefully, step into the right direction from that standpoint. I'm certainly glad we had the conference, even though it wasn't the full conference, because I think having a stake in the ground and saying, hey, look, it was really important and special to have this, is a good step in the right direction.
Absolutely, and I guess we'll just see what happens next year.
Absolutely, fingers crossed.
Yeah, I mean, I know it'll happen in some form, but we'll just see what that is, and hopefully there will be more of an in-person presence next year.
Yeah, I hope so as well.
It's been a little slow going this year.
Yep.
But it's interesting. I don't know if you've had the same experience in your booth, but a lot of the exhibitors this year have said we've kind of appreciated the smaller numbers because it's allowed for more interaction with people and a little longer conversations in those booths.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've had the same experience. We've got a number of rooms where customers come in and have really in-depth conversations. And versus in a regular show, I'm spending 5 or 10 minutes with each customer. In this case, I've actually been able to really spend a good amount of time in understanding, you know, what they need, what challenges they're seeing, and these sorts of things as well.
That's excellent. What was your highlight from the conference, your favorite thing that happened this week?
I think my favorite thing is just being here. I mean, literally.
You're not the first person who said that.
Yeah, so just having a conference and seeing, there's a lot of people, even within my company, I haven't seen in a couple of years. So just having that interaction again was special. Just
being face-to-face and having the social aspect of it a little bit.
That's correct, yes.
That's great.
Yep.
So anything else you want us to know about the projects that you're working on, what's in the future, what the future holds for HPE?
Yeah, certainly, you know, as we will be implementing these Exascale systems over the next couple of years or so. So each one having more power than the next as we go forward, and at the same time bringing that technology down to more and more customers. So you'll see more from us, more success stories, these sorts of things, of where we've taken those ingredients and you know, brought it into more everyday kind of computing environments.
Right, kind of scaled it down.
That's correct. Yep.
Excellent. Well, it's been a wonderful conversation with you. Thank you for stopping by.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me.
For those of you watching, stay tuned for the latest in high-performance computing from SC21 TV. Make sure to like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and do please plan to attend SC22 in person in Dallas next year if you are able. I'm Charla Bokikio.